The most important thing is to go. Go out and see the world. I've had a lot of lessons learned in crossing all 7 continents and using a bunch of different vehicles and campers. When I first started getting involved with vehicle-based travel, I just didn't find any great websites or any magazines that covered it, certainly not in North America. And because I was an entrepreneur, I started thinking that this might actually be a business. So we started off with a small website called Expeditions West, and then we started Expedition Portal in 2005, and we've been at it for 20 years this year.
We're in an area just west of Interstate 17 called Bumblebee, and it doesn't get a lot of traffic, but it's some of the most interesting terrain that we have in central Arizona. So you can get those rocky climbs, you can get those really remote shelf roads, and you can get some absolutely stunning campsites. And that's where a vehicle like the Ineos Quartermaster with the Scout on top is home. As travelers, we're constantly moving, which means we don't always know the trail conditions, we don't always know the overhead height limits, we don't always know if we'll be able to fit it on a roll-on, roll-off ship, or if we need to put the vehicle into a container. So for me, the Pop-Top gives me the maximum number of options. And I've done a lot of Arctic travel in my life, after crossing Antarctica twice. I don't care if I ever see -40 again. So I don't mind being in the desert. I don't mind being in really comfortable conditions, and that's where a Pop-Top shines.
The accomplishment that took me the longest was crossing all 7 continents. And it started off with the goal of first driving around the world, and after I drove around the world, I realized I've crossed North America, crossed Europe, and then crossed Asia. And by the time I got there, I realized I've got something interesting here that could be accomplished in a lifetime. So we did a dual crossing of Antarctica by vehicle, and the last continent that I completed was just last year when I crossed the continent of Africa from south to north. I wanted to live out of a camper for about a half a year in the US. The Scout to me captured that reliability, simplicity, lightweight, and durability that was important to me as a customer. And I'm a minimalist by nature. I don't really like to overdo things, and that camper, it spoke to my soul. For me as a traveler, I prefer to keep my vehicles very simple, as close to stock as possible, and I also like to keep them really light so I have good performance in the backcountry.
I've got chairs, and I've got axe, and I've got firewood. I have everything that I need, and this truck is under gross vehicle weight. That's the key attribute of a Scout, is simplicity. A comfortable place to sit, a comfortable place to sleep, a countertop that I can make some food on. That's it. That's the greatest benefit of a camper, is it allows you to stay out more comfortable longer. I could spend a week here fully self-sufficient. I'm producing power from the solar panels on the roof. I just need to make enough power to make a coffee in the morning. It's actually one of the great luxuries of life, is understanding the benefits that simplicity brings to you.